side lying thoracic rotation with swimmers. So I'm going to film this when you've perhaps done each exercise separately, but this is going to be a combination of both. So to do this, I am going to, I was trying to decide if I wanted to do it side lying or in the letter T, but I'm going to do it here. All right, so you're going to set up for your side lying rotation. You're going to straighten so you're in one long line. Draw that top knee up above 90 degrees to protect the low back. Bring that hand out beneath you. You can put your head up on a pillow if that's more comfortable. Laying here on the floor, lose the AirPod. Take a big breath in. And as you exhale, eyes and nose, follow that hand to 12 o'clock. Now, you can take this bottom hand, you can bring it up and see where it goes, but you might as well just go ahead and grab that knee. We want to create a nice wedge here to keep the back safe. So from here, big breath in. And I want you to just open out to 3 o'clock. Close it with an inhale. Exhale, open up. Now, you may not be able to get as far as I can, and maybe you can. But if you can't, don't worry. I've been doing these for 10 years. So inhale, close. Actually, more than 10 years. Exhale, open. I have been working on maintaining thoracic mobility for over a decade. So don't worry if you're not where I am. If you want to take this up to the ankle, which always feels delicious for the front of the shoulder, by all means, go for it. But for the purposes of filming this, I'm just going to show you that 9 to 3 rotational pattern, all right? You'll do that 3, 4, or 5 times, whatever kind of feels good. And you're going to close it back up. And now you're going to bring it all the way to close when you finish the number of repetitions. You're going to straighten that leg, roll onto your belly. So remember, rolling from your side to your belly is very spine sparing. Rolling from your side to your back can often be not spine sparing. You want to kind of try to roll in one unit versus twisting through the spine. All right, so here we are on our belly. You're going to bring your forehead down on the ground. If you need to have a towel underneath it so your nose is not smushing into the floor, you can do that and put that underneath your forehead. I'm just going to smush my nose down. You're going to bring your hands to your low back and just let those elbows fall toward the floor. Your elbows may not touch the floor. That's okay. Hands on your low back. You're going to practice lifting the elbows only, then lift the hands. Straighten the hands like you're about ready to fly. Now you're going to bring those shoulders out like the letter T, like they're 9 to 3, then bring them overhead. Now I want you to draw like you're hovering right over the ground. Draw those elbows right down to your rib cage. Straighten them again. Sweep back to the starting position. So this is a wonderful exercise for this shoulder joint. All right, so this shoulder joint is a ball and socket joint. It gets to move now in all the directions, reaching, pulling down, extending long, sweeping back and around. Now, if overhead pressing is something that is contraindicated for you, right? If you have an asymmetry in your shoulder mobility, this is still something you can practice with whatever range you can get. Maybe it's to here, all right? Maybe you can't get all the way overhead. That's all right. Do what you can. You're not using load here. So unless you have been told not to do that at all body weight, which generally, you're going to stay on the floor, but generally anything without load is great for just working mobility. Never, of course, pushing into pain, but it should be something that you can still do, even if it's contraindicated for you to do loaded overhead pressing, okay? Now, I'm going to I was a little hot there on the floor. I needed to come up and get some air. So we're going to come back down. Pretend I just finished the number of reps. Maybe it's 3, maybe it's 5. And we're finished. We bring it around. Now we're simply going to roll to the other side. Bring this leg up above 90 degrees. Take a breath in. Exhale up to 12 o'clock. Bring that bottom hand to wedge in, create a nice, safe wedge, pushing that knee down to the floor so it doesn't go anywhere. Take a big breath in. Exhale. The head and nose, I didn't say this on the other side, are going to just keep looking at the ceiling. They don't move, but you're just going to open up to the floor. Inhale, close to 12 o'clock. Exhale, open. Now, if you are pretty stuck, and let's say you're only getting this far, you're going to close here. And you're going to exhale and try to open as far as you can. All right. So your close is going to come all the way back to the floor. In this case, because my range is all the way to the floor, working here is just fine, because to go here is just not necessary for me. But if you're restricted, you are going to go all the way back to the floor. All right. And remember, if going overhead, which is always a little bit more of a stretch than that 9 to 3. If that's something you're working on, or it feels just particularly good for you, it is a great way to get this whole fascial line on stretch. Feel free to take this up to the angle stretch. And then when you come out of it, if you, I like to just roll back, push up, and kind of come to all fours to stand up. But if you roll into your back, just get nice and stiff to kind of roll in one unit to be spine sparing.